Watching Dylan Wang may cause sudden smiles and obsession. Stop scrolling right now and read this carefully. If you have ever felt your heart pause for a second while watching a drama, if you have ever replayed a scene because one look said more than 1,000 words, if you have ever searched an actor's name immediately after an episode ended, then this is your sign to lean in closer and stay to the very end. Because once you truly see Dylan Wang, you do not just watch him, you experience him. And there is no turning back. There is something rare about the way Dylan Wang enters a scene. It is not loud. It is not forced. It is powerful in a quiet, unstoppable way. The moment he appears on screen, the atmosphere changes. Conversations feel heavier. Silence feels meaningful. Even the air around him seems charged with emotion. You find yourself sitting up straighter. Your eyes follow every movement. Your mind forgets everything else. This is not accidental. This is presence. This is star power. One of the most mind-blowing things about Dylan Wang is how he uses his eyes. There are scenes where he barely speaks, yet entire emotions unfold in seconds. Pain, longing, confidence, vulnerability, strength, all delivered without a single dramatic gesture. In one unforgettable moment, he simply stands still. The world around him moves, but he does not. And somehow that stillness is louder than chaos. You feel it in your chest before you even understand why. Then there are scenes where his smile changes everything. Not a simple smile, but one layered with meaning. Sometimes it is warm and reassuring, like a promise that everything will be all right. Other times it carries danger, confidence, and mystery. The kind of smile that makes you question characters' choices and your own reactions. You realize you are smiling back at your screen, completely caught. Dylan Wang has a way of making romance feel intense without being excessive. A single glance across a room feels like a confession. Standing close without touching feels more powerful than words. There are scenes where two characters do nothing more than breathe in the same space. Yet the tension is so strong it feels electric. You're not just watching a love story. You are inside it, feeling every pause, every heartbeat, every unspoken word. What truly sets him apart is his transformation from role to role. He does not carry the same energy everywhere. He becomes the character fully. In one moment, he is commanding and untouchable. In another, he is soft, uncertain, and deeply human. You forget the actor entirely. You believe the story. You believe him. That is the kind of performance that stays with you long after the screen goes dark. There are action scenes where his movements are precise, confident, and controlled. Each step feels intentional. Each turn of his head signals authority. You believe that he owns the space he is in. Then suddenly the scene shifts. The action fades. And you see the emotional cost behind the strength. That contrast hits hard. It is thrilling and heartbreaking at the same time. The most unforgettable scenes are often the quiet ones. Dylan Wang sitting alone, lost in thought. Standing in the rain, without saying a word. Turning away when emotions become too heavy to face. These moments are mind-blowing because they feel real. They remind you of your own quiet struggles, your own moments of reflection, your own unspoken feelings. Watching Dylan Wang is not just entertainment. It is connection. You connect to the character, to the emotions, to the story. And, without realizing it, you connect to parts of yourself. That is why people keep talking about him. That is why scenes are replayed, shared, discussed, and remembered. He leaves an imprint. Now here is the truth you need to hear. If you have not fully experienced Dylan Wang yet, you are missing out on one of the most captivating screen presences of this generation. And if you already know him, then you know exactly why this feeling is impossible to ignore. And the promise does not fade with time. It grows stronger the more you watch. What begins as curiosity slowly turns into admiration and then into something deeper. You start noticing the smallest details. The way he tilts his head when listening. The pause before he speaks as if weighing every word. The calm confidence that never needs to announce itself. These details build a connection that feels personal even though it is shared by millions. There are scenes where the story slows down and the camera lingers on his face just long enough for you to feel everything he is holding back. Regret mixed with hope. strength mixed with fear. You can almost sense the thoughts racing behind his eyes. These are the moments that take your breath away. Not because they are loud or dramatic, but because they are honest. They remind you that true impact does not always come from big gestures. Sometimes it comes from silence. As the story unfolds, Dylan Wang leads you through emotional highs and lows with ease. One episode leaves you energized, inspired, and smiling. The next leaves you reflective, quiet, and thoughtful. You begin to anticipate his scenes before they even arrive. You feel excitement when you hear his voice, comfort when he appears, curiosity about what he will do next. This is how obsession quietly forms. Not forced, not rushed, just natural. What makes his performances even more powerful is how relatable they feel. Even when playing characters far removed from everyday life, he grounds them in real emotion. You see yourself in his struggles, your hopes in his determination, your doubts in his moments of hesitation. It is impossible not to feel seen. That is the magic. He bridges the gap between fiction and reality. And then there are those scenes that stay with you long after the episode ends. Scenes you think about while doing ordinary things. Scenes that replay in your mind without effort. A single look, a slow walk away, a moment of decision that changes everything. These scenes become memories even though they never happened to you. That is the power of truly immersive storytelling led by the right actor. Dylan Wang carries stories in a way that feels effortless yet deeply intentional. He respects the audience. He trusts them to feel rather than be told. He allows space for interpretation, for emotion, for connection. And in doing so, he creates moments that feel timeless. And wanting more becomes part of the experience. You begin to understand why his name keeps appearing in conversations, timelines, and recommendations. It is not hype without substance. It is consistency. Every role adds another layer. Every scene deepens the connection. You realize that what you are witnessing is growth unfolding in real time. There is a certain confidence in the way Dylan Wang carries complex moments. He allows emotions to breathe. He does not rush them. When a character faces a difficult choice, you can feel the weight of it before anything happens. The pause stretches just enough to make your heart tighten. You lean closer without realizing it. That is control. That is mastery of timing. In scenes of confrontation, he does not rely on volume. His calm can be more intimidating than raised voices. A steady gaze, a measured tone, a still posture. These elements come together to create tension that holds your attention completely. You are not distracted. You are locked in, waiting for what comes next. Then the story shifts again, and you see vulnerability emerge. Shoulders relax, eyes soften. The strength remains, but it is layered with openness. These transitions feel natural. Nothing feels exaggerated. You believe every second. That believability is what makes the scenes mind-blowing. They feel lived in. They feel real. As episodes progress, you start recognizing how carefully each moment is built. How his reactions influence the entire rhythm of a scene. How other characters respond differently when he is present. The energy shifts. The stakes rise. Even simple conversations feel important. That is the mark of someone who elevates a story just by being in it. There is also joy in watching him enjoy his roles. It shows in lighter moments, in relaxed smiles, in playful exchanges. These scenes balance the intensity and remind you why stories matter. They make you feel alive. They remind you of warmth, connection, and hope. Dylan Wang delivers all of that without ever breaking the world of the story. Long after the final episode, you find yourself missing the characters, missing the atmosphere, missing the emotions. That lingering feeling is not accidental. It is the result of performances that leave a mark. You realize you did not just watch a series. You went on a journey. So, let this be the moment you commit. Explore more. Watch deeply. Pay attention. Engage with others who feel the same excitement. Comment your favorite scene. Share your favorite moment. Subscribe for more long-form stories that dive into unforgettable performances. Because some actors entertain, some impress, but a few truly stay with you. Dylan Wang is one of those rare few. And once you step into his world, you will understand why leaving it never feels easy.